saved a family of 4 here in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan which allows you to pick your doctors and hospitals. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can look into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
92.5 Fox News.
When only the truth will do.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
She's due in court today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The now ex-Minnesota cop who shot and killed a black man at a traffic stop, Kim Potter's now charged with manslaughter.
If ever there was a time in America when the police should be on their greatest behavior, it should be now.
Daunte Wright's family attorney Benjamin Crump. Body cam footage appears to show Potter thought she had a taser in her hand instead of a gun in Brooklyn Center last night.
Hundreds gather outside the police department for a 4th straight night. Protests turning violent by nightfall. People lobbing water bottles, bricks, rocks, and fireworks at police. Officers responding by firing pepper spray into the crowd.
Fox's Carly Shimkus. There were over 20 arrests. Some Senate Democrats plan to introduce a bill today to expand the Supreme Court, which Republicans reject as an attempted power grab to tilt the court to the left. President Biden's detailed a plan to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan by September 11th.
It's time for American troops to come home.
But Republicans worry the Taliban and terrorists will benefit. Senator Lindsey Graham.
With all due respect to President Biden, you have not ended the war, you have extended it.
Talks resumed today in the U.S. attempt to rejoin the Iran international nuclear deal. Fox's Simon Owen has this live.
Dave, negotiators from Iran and the countries still signed up to its international deal are set for another round of talks in Vienna, seeking a way to bring the U.S. back into the agreement. But ahead of the meeting, Secretary of State Antony Blinken has criticized Iran for ramping up its nuclear program.
I have to tell you, the step calls into question Iran's seriousness with regard to the nuclear talks.
This after Iran said it's stepping up its enrichment of uranium following an alleged attack on an Iranian nuclear plant at the weekend. Dave?
Simon, the U.S. is expected to hit Russia today with sanctions over election interference in that massive cyber attack that hit several U.S. government agencies. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
We have a crash on the interstate this morning already, and this is southbound near Colonial Boulevard, so keep this in mind. Traffic will start to slow down. Also, delays in Fort Myers on Davis Boulevard continue heading north towards Iona, and Estero busy on Corkscrew getting onto I-75 if you're heading east of Three Oaks. Also in Bonita Springs, an eastbound delay on West Terry towards Old 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors. My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
92.5 Fox News proudly presents The Plot Against the President, showing at the Silver Spot Theater at Mercado in Naples, Thursday, April 29th. Featuring live and in person, California Congressman Devin Nunes, Kash Patel, Jack Langer, and producer Amanda Milius. The Plot Against the President is presented by Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group, PlantationShuttersForYou.com. Keep listening to 92.5 Fox News for details.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment, we've got you covered.
Your 9-year-old car just hit 100,000 miles. You don't know whether to smile and pat the dash with pride or to cry because your trade-in value just went down even further and you're so ready for an upgrade. Don't cry. Bring it to Naples Nissan and get the full original MSRP for it. That's right, whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, that's what Naples Nissan will give you for it. And voila, you get to drive home in a brand new Nissan. All vehicle types, all vehicle brands, regardless of where you bought it from or if you bought it new or used. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. We appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for being here. A busy day. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of guests. We have a lot of things to talk about. And it's even hard to figure out where to hit the ground running right now. And I guess we'll just do that. You know, I've been concerned for the past, for a long time, and leading even up to some of the news that has been out there, that ultimately what we have here in this country, and one of the things that we all have to talk amongst ourselves, and we have to deal with friends and neighbors confidently, not getting in people's faces, but confidently have the discussion about what actually is happening in this country when it comes to doxing, when it comes to reasons why people would desperately want to have names of individuals exposed, and the reasoning behind it when it comes to the news of the day, how there are groups, there are individuals that their sole purpose right now, and one of their main focuses is on, one of the things that they focus on is to expose individuals, to cause fear, to get their way politically. Now, right out of the gate, that probably makes sense to many of you, as we're going to talk today about court packing, and we're going to talk about what Democrats are trying to do. Joe Biden, once again, who, funny enough, Joe Biden, who's I'm not always confident is sure what day it is. You know, it's
not a joke.
Who is telling everybody that we should be thinking about and having a commission to talk about court packing. Because we know these are things that we should look into, and maybe this is a good idea, expanding the court, maybe to 13, which is a proposal from the House, that this somehow is a good idea, that we explore this. And, of course, the reasons why are, well, you know, it's something that needs to be done to rectify the wrongs of the country, and however they're going to explain it. But with the beauty of the interwebs and Al Gore's beautiful, bountiful interwebs, we come to find out that it wasn't too long ago. Well, actually, it was a long time ago, 1983, when Joe Biden, the same Joe Biden, was calling out everybody else for suggesting even the idea of court packing would be a good idea. In his words, was a bonehead idea. Interesting how that works. It's just discovery, you know. It's enlightening, enlightenment. He's different now than he was back then. He's reimagining, you know, what the country could be. You know, kind of like reimagining police. That's another issue when we talk about the doxing and the calling out and the naming of names and individuals. You know, the court packing and the court idea of this is, how many times did we hear during the Kavanaugh hearings, and how many times have we heard at that moment where individuals, even Brett Kavanaugh, was concerned about how his reputation was being portrayed, how his family's reputation was being portrayed, how many times we've heard about individuals showing up at people's doorsteps, people who don't have the best of intentions, showing up at people's doorsteps, slamming the tops of garbage pail cans and making loud noises and calling people out, and maybe even knocking and ringing doorbells, scaring the life out of the individuals in that home, because the person that they're doxing, the person that they're calling out for, isn't in that home. How many times have we heard that? We've heard that many times. You know, we come to find out yesterday that the officer who fatally shot Daunte Wright is charged now with manslaughter. Kim Potter could face up to 10 years in prison in the shooting death of Daunte Wright. So what does this have to do with what I'm opening the show with today? Because right out of the gate, and again, this is another aspect of the whole story that we'll dig into, but one of the things that I'm noticing quickly today, this morning, as I'm getting up, that the call right away, not from reporters necessarily, but from those that we're told were reporters at the time when Brooklyn Center Police Chief Gannon was having a press conference. And remember, we played the audio of the reporters, quote unquote, who were asking questions and then were responding to him in ways that reporters typically don't, almost like activists, because we're starting to realize that there were activists there, that this is part of this, that they were calling for the release of the name immediately. And again, there are some that just because they would like to know public knowledge, that we're going to end up finding out this person's name, but they were really pushing hard to get her name quickly. And why? Because there are individuals in this country whose sole purpose it's going to be to now make her life miserable and her family miserable, waiting for due process to take place. Listen, the video's out there, and this isn't just a justification of a tragedy, of a horrific tragedy that took place with this shooting. That, don't miss what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you put all of that aside, you understand that this is happening. When you're hearing stories about officers having to erect concrete barriers around the home of Kim Potter because the protests have turned violent, self-identified Antifa groups on the scene in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, ahead of unrest that has been taking place. Yesterday, I heard news of a CNN reporter, I guess, or a cameraman for CNN. You know, CNN who shows up on the scene thinking that for some reason, because they're CNN, that Antifa and those anarchists that are out there on the street are looking at them and going, oh, CNN. Okay, you guys are good. Go ahead. Yeah, whatever you want. Hey, you want a shot? Here, give me a microphone and I'll give you an interview. No. They're quickly finding out that when you're an anarchist, you care less about CNN as much as you care less about anybody else. It's about anarchy. It's not about taking sides, and CNN has yet to figure that out. And apparently, one of the cameramen got hit in the head with a water bottle. Remember, it was Police Chief Gannon there in Brooklyn Center who was talking about how in the unrest, the rioting that the reporters were saying, no, they were peaceful protests. And he's saying, no, it was a riot. When you're getting hit with concrete blocks and frozen water bottles and frozen pop cans, yeah, that's rioting. That's not peaceful protesting. You don't do that. And here you have a cameraman who was hit. And again, because here's where we're going. Antifa moving in to take advantage of the situation. That is in no way like the George Floyd case. Every case is separate and an individual case. But yet somehow they're coming together in the same way. And again, once she's identified, now it's the mob that rules. It's the mob that has the hand in justice. It's all the things that are taking place, like the officer now who is facing and being charged with second-degree manslaughter. And when you read in the code in Minnesota about what is second-degree manslaughter, there are some people who might question whether or not that is the charge to have here. The second-degree manslaughter in Minnesota is applicable when authorities allege a person caused someone's death by, quote, culpable negligence whereby the person creates an unreasonable risk and consciously takes chances of causing death or great bodily harm to another. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I just play with it at home, and there's robes involved in wigs, and it's a whole other story. But hey, you can ask my wife. Actually, don't. But I digress. Consciously taking chances of causing death? Like, is that really what took place? You saw what happened in the video. Everybody has. Came out pretty fast. Good for them for putting out the video ahead of time instead of waiting weeks and weeks and weeks where the narrative can be built as to what happened. And then we come to find out it's nothing like what it's been described. But is it? I guess we'll talk more in the coming days and weeks, but certainly right out of the gate, people do have well, not everybody has questions. I have questions. I'm just logically asking the question. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but when you have a second-degree manslaughter charge that says culpable negligence where the person creates an unreasonable risk, an officer, anything in that video say to you that there was an unreasonable risk that was caused by the officers as opposed to Daunte Wright, the victim, who, by the way, last week we were told a flat-out lie that the reason why he was pulled over was because of an illegal air freshener? Do you remember that, Jake? Jake was talking about that last week. It was like an air freshener. No, that wasn't why he was pulled over, because there was an air freshener in his window hanging from his rear view, and that's illegal, and that's the reason why. No, that's not the case at all. That's a lie. They ran his plates. There was a lot going on there. Someone who had a warrant out faced attempted robbery. Allegedly choked a woman and held her at gunpoint with an unregistered firearm. There's a little more to the story. So when I see that, I get concerned because too many times that we have the media, the mobs, the left, everybody is deciding for themselves where justice needs to be served. New York Times had an article yesterday that many people have been talking about on the very small universe known as Twitter. And I bring that up too because I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday who was saying that he was reading somewhere about the fact that we're told that Twitter is this giant universe and everybody's on Twitter, when the fact is it's something like, I think they did the numbers, something like 9% of people are on Twitter. Like it's a very small microcosm, but yet the macro consequences of the people who talk on Twitter when it comes to laws that are passed or being pushed against, and some of the radical ideology that's put out there that we're led to believe is what everybody thinks and feels because Twitter says so. And meanwhile, most of you aren't even on Twitter. But we're told that's it. That Twitter is the arbiter of everything that is all the ideology and every single person in this country, when it's not. New York Times has an article, the CEOs who didn't sign a big defense of voting rights. Hundreds of leaders and companies signed a letter opposing strict limits. They did not. Is there anything more outrageous right now than that? Again, remember what we're talking about here. As I opened up the show this morning, and I have to be honest, this wasn't where I was going to go right out of the gate, but as more and more of these things started to hit my feed and more of these things started to hit my email, I just think it's something that we should be aware of and talk with each other more. Again, if you're wondering how you have the ability to make change in this country, if you're waiting from somebody high up or way out there or somebody in Washington, D.C. to come down and bestow upon you the knowledge or the ability to make all of the ills of this world go away, you got a long wait. But you do have influence. Your sphere and the people you talk to and the friends that you have in your neighborhood, and not to be fearful. Look, if you're not confrontational with the conversation, then if it gets confrontational, it's on them. It's not on you, which means they're uncomfortable. But if you have the facts and the truth behind you, I guess sunlight is quite the disinfectant, right? Isn't it like a vampire when is it the vampire, right? That doesn't like to be out there in the day, right? Isn't it? Wasn't it the vampire movies, Jake, that were every time there was a vampire out in the light, it would be like they would like just would set them on fire or something like that, or
their skin would burn.
Yeah, when I think of vampires, I immediately go to you. It's weird. I don't know why.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah, it is. CNN. Boy, that was some Freudian slip. The New York Times putting out a list of people who did not sign a big defense of voting rights. In other words, here they are. All of you who will dox, all of you who will bully, all of you who will destroy, all of you who part of your motivation right now in trying to make change in this country, not good change, not the right kind of change, but your truth, not the truth. Here's a list. Here it is. New York Times. These are the people to go after. Did not sign a big defense of voting rights. Supposedly because what's happening in places like Georgia, the Jim Crow or Jim Eagle or whatever Joe Biden says,
we choose truth over facts.
Right, exactly. Like he knows. Like that's what's happening in Georgia when it's not, but we're telling everybody it is, and we're constantly feeding you and gaslighting you. And now the New York Times wants to put out an article, outrageous, to say here's a list of the people that didn't, the companies, the CEOs, the people, not a building, people who did not sign a big defense of voting rights. So why are they making these lists? And again, I'm just bringing this up because, man, more and more today, and you'll hear about this coming up, and there's a lot more to discuss. But you're going to see that there's a theme that runs through a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about as we move forward, not just today, but in weeks and months to come, and even leading into elections. And it's this, that there are people that are out there right now that even subtly will call you out and call your ideology out, individuals out, businesses out, subtly, to try to get people to destroy these companies, to destroy you, to destroy your way of life, your beliefs, your faith, under the guise of, well, I didn't do it. I just wanted them to know who it is. Why? Well, because maybe people want to, well, why do they want to know? Well, maybe because, and you know the answer. And it's just a tough position to be in. But you are armed, prepared with the facts and the truth. And that puts you in good standing. The foundation. And that's important to always remember that you got it. You got this. All right, Jake the Vampire?
Yes.
Now that's confidence. 239-479-5592. We're working on that. When we come back, oh boy, do we have a lot going on. Like I said before, hey, Democrats are getting ready to unveil legislation to pack the Supreme Court with 4 more justices. And Joe Biden says, don't do that. It's a bonehead thing to do. Well, he did say that in the past. We'll play the audio so you're armed with that truth, the actual truth.
We choose truth.
I know. Also, hey, everybody, there's also some news here out of the state of Florida. I wonder how this is all going to work out. The Florida Department of Education is saying to districts, to superintendents, maybe if you're doing face coverings there in your schools, maybe you should make it optional. Are certain districts around Southwest Florida willing to follow that? Yeah, we're going to talk about that because that's kind of a big deal as well. Stay bright, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More than 100 companies, including Titans, Apple, Amazon, Ford, and Starbucks, signed a letter expressing their opposition to a number of states considering voting restrictions. More vaccinations mean more reopenings as American businesses inch back from the pandemic. American Airlines says it plans to fly a nearly normal summer schedule, and like others, is adding flights to vacation destinations for travel-starved people. The digital currency company Coinbase pulled in an $85 billion valuation in its stock market debut yesterday. It's the first cryptocurrency startup to go public in the U.S. And the Dow rose 53 points, ending up just shy of a record close. The Nasdaq fell 138 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Finally, spring has arrived, and so have all new Untuckit styles. Check out our new wrinkle-free shirts that every guy needs as the weather warms up. And don't forget our famous polos, the official shirts of spring. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked and will look great as we get back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, going on vacations, and yes, even heading back to the office. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Use code TAKE20 for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
So you say the time has finally come. It's here. I can't do it anymore. I can't have my water in my house smelling like chlorine. I just got to stop. I can't handle the hard water stains around my faucets and my shower glass. Make it stop. The water drying out your skin and your hair. Listen, you can. Just make the call. Call right now for your free Pentair water test. Pelican is now Pentair Water Solutions, the pros. And the number is 239-880-7799. Look, chlorine, ugly lime scale, iron. You can do something right now. Give Max a call, a uniformed Pentair water specialist, and he can find and handle your city or well water issues. We know we have them here in Southwest Florida. And look, with the mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems, and the salt-free solution, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt. And they can even install your Pentair water system for you, and I'm telling you, you are going to love the way your water tastes from every single faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now, get your free water test, give Max a call at 239-880-7799 or book online at pelicanwestfl.com.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Spring sales drive, Marty.
You moving them doggies out, Marty, man?
Yeah, sure, everything goes.
Oh,
Yep.
So you're marking them up to sit on the lot another year.
No.
Marty, you know you can't beat Victory Lane Chevy's huge roundup of new 2021 Chevy Equinox LTs with up to 20% off MSRP.
Who says?
Or choose new 2021 Chevy Traverse LT, up to 15% off MSRP. Marty, you ever see those Western movies with the gigantic cattle drives?
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
Well, this isn't one of them, but it's close. The savings are blooming at Victory Lane Chevrolet's Spring Sales Drive. Find new roads and save up to 20% off MSRP on new 2021 Chevy Equinox or new Chevy Traverse with up to 15% off MSRP. All with our goal of 100% credit approval. It's sales drive time, buckaroos, at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com.
Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 4/30/2021.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling, now is the time. You can get a full market value offer on your home as fast as 24 hours without you having to do repairs, and you pick the closing date. Book your free, no pressure, no obligation consultation now at GomesBuysHomes.com. That's GomesBuysHomes.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 136 is heading southbound towards Colonial Boulevard, is delaying traffic for almost 2 miles now. So south of MLK, do not get onto the interstate. Stick to Ortiz, or you have Fordham Boulevard to get you to Colonial much faster. Also, only a tap on the brakes in Cape Coral on Trafalgar heading west towards Skyline. Traffic is slower than usual on Pine Island Road just over Matt Lachey. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, so my good friends at AMCO Bonita Springs, look, they're looking to hire a technician. And I've been talking about these guys for years now, right? Southwest Florida's come to know them as a great auto repair shop, as well as a solid hometown conservative. And look, if you're looking for a great place to work, or if you might know someone that you can refer to them, why not reach out to AMCO of Bonita Springs? Great conservatives. 239-992-2626. That's 992-2626. And while we're talking about auto repair, always keep in mind that you can count on Kevin and Todd and the rest of the team when it comes to your repairs on any regular maintenance that you may need. These guys have been around since 2008. So give a call, 239-992-2626. And if you're a technician or know of one looking for a great place to work, be sure to mention you heard about it right here on 92.5 Fox News.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. Some of the biggest advertising air conditioning companies locally are not really local. They're part of national and international conglomerates, and you're just another number on the bottom line. At Kobe Cooling, we live right here. Our children and grandchildren live right here. We sponsor your kids' sports teams, local scholarships, local food banks, and all kinds of local organizations. We're not for sale now, and we never will be. The Kobe family started Kobe Cooling, we run it, and we even run service calls too. So when you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Local families serving local families. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
License number CCC 1332557.
You have hundreds of roofers to choose from, but at Crown Roofing, we think we're the only choice in Charlotte, Lee, and Collier counties. Crown Roofing, the highest quality roofs with competitive pricing. Looking to re-roof, repair, or get roof maintenance on your home? Count on Crown for superior craftsmanship and peace of mind. Florida's most trusted roofer, and satisfaction is our goal. Get Crown on it today. Call 855-CROWN55 or online at crownroofing.com.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
Thursday through Sunday. No sales tax. The no sales tax event is only at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Buy a new Nissan this week and you don't pay sales tax on your new car. We'll cover it 100% and you save thousands of dollars. Save even more when we combine incredible spring savings on new Nissans. Stop everything. Just announced. Thursday through Sunday, Sutherland will buy your car for $500 more than any written offer. Whether it's a loan, lease, or paid in full, no matter the year, make, or model. And it's here for a limited time longer. The Sutherland Basketball Hoop. Make a half-court shot, and you can tear up your contract. The car is FREE. Free. Hurry, the no-tax event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida saves you more money than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at FLDOE.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. That is the website in case you would like to watch the program. We always do appreciate that. By the way, yeah, we're on Facebook, too, at Drew Steele Radio. I know some people still like to go to Facebook, and that's cool. Well, not really, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, you're there. It's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's, is an option as well. It's good for your smartphone, your computer, your smart device. And again, we appreciate you watching. You know what I need this morning just to get going a little bit? I got to shake it out before we get to an immigration discussion. We've got Dave Ray, Federation for American Immigration Reform, coming up at 7:05. We've got our Thursdays with Byron Donalds. Congressman Byron Donalds will join us at 8:05 today. A lot to discuss. All of that is coming up. But, I need my morning cup of Joe.
Sit back with your morning cup of Joe.
Not a joke. I said, among with others, we'd follow Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell if need be. That's exactly what we did, and we got him.
You did? But that was the president of the United States, Joe Biden. 874 million of you voted for him. That was Joe Biden from yesterday, who wanted to let everybody know that, listen, when it comes to Osama bin Laden, he's talking about the fact that Afghanistan pulling out troops. We're going to get out by September 11th, the 20th anniversary, which I'm sure they love that you decided that on the 20th anniversary of September 11th, that's the date that you would pull out troops. Believe me, the symbolism does not fall flat for those that are there. The radicals believe it. But anyway, I digress. So it's Joe Biden yesterday who decided that he was going to take credit for Osama bin Laden raid. It's funny because I do have something here. What is this thing called? Jake, what's this thing called that's in front of me that I click this, the computer, I'll click on this thing and it'll take me to all different places. Like I can read books and I can get movies and I can hear people thinking on places with this little birdie thing. What's this whole thing called? This is called the
Internet.
The Internet, that's it. The Internet is a funny thing because
breaking news,
a bombshell.
Yeah, Joe Biden just came up with that because here's Joe Biden in 2019. Remember I was there. We would take him to the bowels of hell, or however he put it. Bowels. When I think of Joe Biden, I think of bowels, and that's a whole. That's not fair. That's not nice. It's true, but it's not nice. All right, so Joe Biden, 2019, the bin Laden raid. What did he say?
And we had to make a decision. The president, he went around the table with all the senior people, including the chiefs of staff, and he said, I have to make this decision. What is your opinion? He started with the National Security Advisor, the Secretary of State, and he ended with me. Every single person in that room hedged their bet, except Leon Panetta. Leon said, go. Everyone else said 49, 51, it got to me and he said, Joe, what do you think? And I said, I didn't know we had so many economists around the table. I said, we owe the man a direct answer. Mr. President, my suggestion is don't go.
No, let it finish.
Mr. President, my suggestion is don't go. We have to do 2 more things to see if he's there.
Joe Biden, who, by the way, in 2019 sounded pretty lucid. Much different than now. I'm just making, right, because I'm getting texts and people saying that. It doesn't even sound like the same person. Right? It's interesting. But anyway, that's Joe Biden 2019 saying he told the president don't go. So he's chasing him through the bowels of hell. Is that what it was?
Follow Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell if need be.
All right, gates of hell. So there's Joe Biden. I don't know. Do you call that a lie, stretching the truth? What is that? What does the media call that? That's just Joe being Joe, right? No big deal. All right. So, it's just weird. It's just strange. Some people might say it's a lucid, something's not right there. And some people are texting and saying, like, what is he smoking? Hey, speaking of smoking something.
I'm Nikki Fried, your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I want to show you something. This is my medical marijuana card. It's legal and a direct result of 71% of Floridians voting to allow medical marijuana. But you wouldn't know that in Tallahassee. 5 years after Floridians put it in our Constitution, elected Republicans, so-called Constitution-loving Republicans, are still trying to undo our votes, including capping THC levels this year, blocking medication from patients that need it most. If taxing patients in need and overturning the will of more than 70% of Floridians doesn't get you angry, if it doesn't show you how rigged the system is, well, then you're probably an elected Republican, because the rest of us get it. And we won't let them take this or our votes away from us.
Yeah, that's the Commissioner of Agriculture there, Nikki Fried, the only elected Democrat here in the state of Florida. Some may say by its very strange means. It was awfully close. It's almost as if we don't want to go there. But anyway, yeah. Unless, of course, it had to do with the difference between Matt Caldwell being the Agriculture Commissioner and Nikki Fried was pot. Some might say that. It was like, hey, I love it too. I got a card. But anyway, so there's Nikki Fried, who I guess somehow, some way was talking about how, the Republicans here, because Representative Ray Rodriguez, others have been talking about capping THC levels, and there's been a discussion here on this program about that, and we'll bring him back to talk about that a little more, and how it's the evil Republicans and they hate you and they want you to be in pain, and like some have said in the past on the floor of the House of Representatives, the health plan there for Republicans is they just want you to die. Remember, that's how Democrats talked about Republicans. And there's Nikki Fried, the only elected Democrat here in the state of Florida, talking about Tallahassee and part of the cabinet there. And it's another interesting thing to me that we're sitting here in a state where there's a lot of success, and everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Wasn't the governor on yesterday? I believe. Yeah, he's talking about, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Right, yeah, when he was talking about what's happening here in the state of Florida, things that you just can't deny.
A year ago, everyone said Florida was going to be in the pits economically. We have more revenue than anyone predicted. Our unemployment rate's 4.7%. So we view this as an opportunity to really solidify Florida's direction over the next fiscal year.
So, that's right. It's New York that's raising taxes, even though they got the big payout.
Which means
you guys got a less payout and are not raising taxes.
Which
I'm
means
sorry.
More people are moving down there.
Yeah.
but you know this, guys. You guys, New York has about 3 million fewer people than Florida now, and yet your budget is twice the size of the Florida budget.
Right.
And yet if you come down here, I think our roads are better, our K-12 performs better. So you guys ask yourself whether you're getting your money's worth for those high taxes.
Yeah. And there are things that you can't deny and the good things that are happening in the state, but you have Nikki Fried, who's really concerned about your medical marijuana card being taken away, or your marijuana being taken away, or your pot being taken away, and that's her big thing because that was her big thing to begin with because that's how she got elected, and, trying to scare people into voting for her, I guess, who probably will be running for the governor in the state very, very soon. I'm sure that announcement is coming. But, I bring this up because not even at a state level, but man, even at a local level, doesn't it really speak volumes to how sometimes when it comes to politics, remember, you have Nikki Fried, who's a Democrat, and she's talking trash about the governor. So you can only imagine talking trash about the governor, talking trash about Republicans, and what kind of policies she would agree with or disagree with, and the things that she would do based on her politics that would go against what the governor is trying to do and the successes here, and how detrimental that could be. Then take that and bring that to a local level. Do you not see why when we talk about school boards, when we talk about local elections, how local is so important and how it is critical for you, especially now when you see what the left in this country is willing to do, how far they are willing to go to convince you that 847 million people voted for Joe Biden for president of the United States, right? Because it's the thing.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
I know. That those same people who talk trash about the former president, who talk trash about the governor, do you honestly think that they have any intention of doing or being a part of any policies that the governor would like to put out there, the legislature, let's say this, the Florida Department of Education? Here's an example. And again, don't miss the lead here. Don't miss the important aspect to this story. Local elections have consequences, and if you think that somebody is a conservative, but you come to find out after some vetting that they hate the governor, they hate the former President Trump, they think that, clinging to your guns and your Bibles, that's their belief about you here in Southwest Florida, and you as a conservative, you as a Republican, but yet these are the people that are going to make decisions on whether it's a school board or whether it's a county commission or whether anything that's elected locally, a city council, because you just believe that because they're here in Southwest Florida that they have the same values that you do. The Florida Department of Education has asked districts to make face coverings optional for the 2021-22 school year. A strongly worded memo. Face coverings are a personal decision, and that the data shows us the district's face covering policies do not impact the spread of the virus. That is from Richard Corcoran, and asking to make them voluntary for 21 and 22. Something that was discussed at the Collier County School Board meeting just the other day. Something that was discussed at the Lee County School Board meeting just the other day. By the way, we are talking about the next school year, 21-22. But you could do this right now because the evidence is still the same as we speak. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to make that decision right now? Parents want the board to stop covering the faces of our children in schools. Now I ask you, and I want you to think about this, and I won't even answer it. You can answer it for yourself. This is why elections have consequences and why local elections are so important. And if you can tell me if I'm wrong, 239-479-5592, and it's this. If you're a school board member, if you're a county commissioner, if you're a city council, whatever the case may be, I'm elected officials here locally in Southwest Florida, and you despise the governor. You've made it pretty well known you're not a big fan of the governor. You didn't vote for Donald Trump, and you were not a fan of Donald Trump, and you made it well known, whether it's on social media or social circles. You really haven't been up front and center about whether or not you are a conservative. Just because you tell us and you show up at a Republican club meeting doesn't mean you're a Republican or you have our values. So, sorry. But if you're that person that despises the governor so much, and the district, Richard Corcoran is saying, look, we got to make some decisions here, and face covering should be a personal one. The data showing us the district's face covering policies don't impact the spread of the virus and are asking to make it voluntary. Politically speaking, is there a chance that you may say, no? Because DeSantis, because Trump. Now, you can answer that and you can say, that's outrageous. Of course not. We would do what's best for the kids. We do what's best for the community. Do you? I'm just asking. Would you? If politically you hated and despised this administration, you hated the leadership in the state, deep down, you're not a conservative, you're not a Republican, you're barely a moderate, but nobody knows because nobody can ask. Is it possible that you would just, I'm not really interested in what Richard Corcoran says, not interested in what the governor has to say? That's the worry. That's the worry. 239-479-5592. I could be completely off base. I probably am. It's me. That's okay. We can talk about it. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh.
There is a page.
House writer Felix Salmon reports that trust in the drive-by media has reached a low point in America. It's so low that he says it's at a crisis state. Now, he reports that for the first time ever, fewer than half of all Americans trust the traditional media, meaning the drive-bys. Almost 60% of Americans believe that most traditional news outlets are more concerned with an ideology or a political position than they are reporting the news. Almost the same percentage think that the drive-by media journalists are willing to tell gross exaggerations and to report things they know are false, i.e. fake news. In typical Axios format, the reporter then has to tell his millennial readers why it matters. Felix Salmon, maybe it's pronounced salmon, who knows, says this matters because faith in society's central institutions, especially in government and media, is the glue that holds society together. And that glue, he says, is visibly dissolving. And for many millions of Americans, it's disappeared completely. Salmon does not understand that the reason 60% of Americans have no faith in the media or in his precious government institutions is because they're smart. They know the drive-bys and the deep state government are run by dishonest, corrupt, vicious leftists. And for the last 4 years, they've seen those liberals totally deranged with hatred for Trump and everyone who supports him. That's really why it matters. And they don't even have the slightest idea.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, the real estate market's hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. If people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. If you thought about selling your home, now is the time to do it, but you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for 20 years. Mistakes in real estate, well, they can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So Anthony's created a free value-packed training that's going to reveal 3 secrets on how to sell your home fast and for top dollar in this crazy real estate market. It's free. It won't cost you anything. Just go to GomesBuysHomes.com now. There's no obligation. GomesBuysHomes.com now.
People say they don't like going to the dentist, but what they mean is they don't like the discomfort. Dr. Ellen Rembos at SmilesByRembos.com understands. Dr. Rembos uses computerized anesthetic delivery, resulting in 50% fewer injections. And Dr. Rembos places and restores implants, eliminating delays, additional costs, and no running around. New patients and emergencies usually seen within 24 hours. Cosmetic treatment often completed in 1 to 2 weeks. Read the reviews at SmilesByRembos.com. Offices in Marco, Naples, Sanibel, and Fort Myers.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. And don't even think about hiring a middleman until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's Drew Steele visiting with my friend TJ, owner of the Floormeisters in Naples. And first of all, TJ, you know how much I love my Core-Tech, my home, my wife. When I bring people over, I kind of brag on the floor. Actually, they brag on it for me. They look and they see how beautiful it is. And the selection you have is amazing. Talk about it.
We have 100 colors of Core-Tech right now that we stock by the pallet, so I can sell it cheaper to you every day than anybody else around. We're getting in, I believe, 10 new colors for their entries for 2021. Usually we go out to Vegas and see it there, but with coronavirus, they brought it to me this time.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floormeisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. Or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Afghanistan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived today unannounced after President Biden detailed his plan to pull all U.S. troops out by September 11th, saying the focus should be
on the reason we went in the first place, to ensure Afghanistan would not be used as a base from which to attack our homeland again. We did that.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham calls it a big mistake.
Those things are going to change quickly in Afghanistan for the worse. Al-Qaeda and ISIS are going to benefit very quickly.
There's also concern about a Russian troop buildup near Ukraine, and the U.S. is about to hit Russia with new sanctions over something else. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is on this live.
Dave, the Biden administration is punishing Russia for election interference and malicious cyber activity, including the massive SolarWinds hack that exposed U.S. government and corporate systems. The sanctions will target Russia's sovereign debt, curbing U.S. financial institutions' ability to buy bonds from the nation's sovereign wealth fund. 10 Russian officials will be expelled from the United States. The actions come after President Biden offered to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin for a summit in a third country. Dave?
Rachel, there's a new push to shift the Supreme Court's current tilt to the right back to the left.
Later today, here at the steps of the High Court, a group of Democrats led by Senators Ed Markey and Congressman Jerry Nadler, Hank Johnson, and Mondaire Jones will unveil their plan to add 4 justices.
Now, Fox's Griff Jenkins. Republicans call it a power grab and could attempt to block it with a Senate filibuster. The now ex-cop who shot Daunte Wright, sparking a 4th night of protests in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, is due in court today.
Kim Potter is charged with second-degree manslaughter and facing the possibility of up to 10 years in prison. A statement from the Washington County Attorney's Office says she will be prosecuted vigorously.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin in Brooklyn Center. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
2 crashes on the interstate. One at mile marker 136 heading southbound just near Colonial Boulevard. The other one is at 128 heading southbound near Alico. So if you're heading south, I would avoid 75 for right now. You can stick to 41, especially southbound of Daniels. And you can also stick to Ortiz if you're heading south of MLK. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear, taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around your middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. Neogenics, rediscover your youth.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That is the website. We always appreciate you watching the program. We always appreciate Dave Ray, Federation for American Immigration Reform, fairus.org. who is joining us right now. D-Ray, how are you this morning?
Hey, doing great, Drew. How about you, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm a little feisty this morning, as you can imagine, because there's a lot of news to be feisty about, and I'm going to get about the feisty stuff, the other feisty stuff. But I'm kind of on this one right now as we talk a little bit about what's happening along our southern border. And again, one of the things I want to mention to the audience is, here we go. Lots of balls in the air, lots of things that are happening around the world, in the country, even locally. And, the fact that the border, unfortunately, again, is being not talked about as much as it was maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and the concerns, it's still there. It's not getting any better. So let's just remember that we can do everything. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can talk about all the issues and still continue to talk about this one. All right, so here's some interesting news. The crisis manager, Joe Biden's crisis manager, Kamala Harris, and let's see what she said yesterday about some of the things that are happening along the border. I want you to listen to this. I guess we're showing some progress along the border. Is that right? Wait, hold on.
Vice President, will you visit the southern border? Do you have a trip planned? Will you plan one in the future if the situation with migration doesn't resolve itself?
So, as I mentioned to the experts, the president has asked Secretary Mayorkas to address what is going on at the border, and he has been working very hard at that and is showing some progress because of his hard work.
Really? All right, so two things to take away from that question. Number one, that Kamala Harris is leaving it to Mayorkas. That's his deal. That's not mine. I know I'm the one that Joe Biden said is gonna handle the crisis along the border, but if that's really his deal, number one, and number two, hey, it's showing some progress. So this is good news, D-Ray. We got some progress along the border, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd love to see it. I mean, they are set to have a 20-year high in border apprehensions because of the policies that they've adopted and the Trump policies, frankly, that they destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're saying that they've forged some new deals a la President Trump with our neighbors in the Northern Triangle countries of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. Yet at the same time, those countries are denying that such a deal has happened. In fact, now the president of Mexico and Guatemala have both criticized the Biden administration for the situation that they have single-handedly created along the border that is resulting, according to the president of Guatemala, children being smuggled and put into prostitution, children being dropped over the border fence to fend for themselves, children walking around alone, having been dumped off by coyotes in the desert.
Yeah.
This is not the way to conduct an immigration policy. We had 171,000 people apprehended in March. These are numbers we haven't seen in over a decade, and there's no indication that April's going to be any different. The one thing that we do know that's different is that it's not just Central Americans anymore and Mexicans. It's also people from the Middle East, from China. We had a couple terrorist suspects from Yemen who were apprehended. So, I don't know where this progress is that they think they're seeing, but I'm not seeing it.
Well, are they trying to make the case maybe that about how the Biden administration kind of taking a page from the Trump administration with regard to the Northern Triangle countries? Is that what it is? Is that what they're trying to make it sound like?
That would be great if that is indeed what's happening. The problem is that two of the Northern Triangle countries are denying that such an agreement exists.
Right. Now, for those that don't know, D-Ray, let everybody know what that was all about, and then we can talk about how the countries are like, we don't know anything that's going on here.
Yeah, one of the things that President Trump did is that he met with leaders in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador and said, let's put together what's called a first safe country agreement. So let's say you're in El Salvador and you want to ask for political asylum. When you leave El Salvador, the first safe country that you step in, which would be Guatemala, is where you have to make your asylum claim. You can't walk all the way through Mexico, come to the United States, and make your claim there. If your life was in danger in El Salvador, then once you leave El Salvador, then your life's no longer in danger. Those are the kinds of agreements that Biden's trying to work out with our Central American neighbors, along with asking them to put more military on their borders to shore things up. I mean, President Trump, it just goes to show how reactionary the Democrats have become. Instead of standing back, looking at the policies, I mean, we know that they hate the president, but you can't deny that we know they hate the past president, President Trump, but you can't deny that his border policies were incredibly effective. And the suite of policies that he had in place, including migrant protection protocols, which was the Remain in Mexico policy, which completely tamped down the whole catch and release phenomenon. And they just wiped them out in a matter of days instead of examining them, saying, let's pick and choose. We don't want to start a rush to the border. We don't want innocent people ending up as sex slaves in the United States. They just destroyed everything. That's why, recently 275 sheriffs from 39 states sent a letter to the Biden administration imploring them to do something about what's going on the border. And the significance of that, Drew, is that, on a lot of things, they say America is split right down the middle. Well, these 275 sheriffs were Republicans and Democrats. They were from red states and they were from blue states. The one thing they have in common is love for their country and the knowledge that this is bad news for America. Every state now has become a border state, and we are continuing to bring in just about anybody who arrives with a child is either put on a bus or an airplane and flown somewhere in the United States. And, in the middle of a COVID crisis, in the middle of an economic crisis, with known terror suspects coming over the southern border, that's a real questionable policy.
Yeah, and by the way, Dave Wright joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News Federation for American Immigration Reform, talking about some of the issues that are happening with the illegal crossings into this country that has not stopped. That just because the news cycle changes and it's not the number one thing in the news cycle doesn't mean that it has gone away or it's getting better or there's progress, as much as Kamala Harris would like you to believe that it is. Some more gut-wrenching, disturbing pictures just this morning, and I don't know if you had a chance to see this. Actually, the picture of yesterday, I'm looking at it from the New York Post. Border Patrol agents discover 18 adults and 2 kids hiding under a trailer, the boards of a trailer. Think about this, a tractor trailer, the boards of the tractor trailer, and they're hiding behind it. 18 adults and 2 kids crammed in and the photo is just, you can't even, it takes your breath away what is happening. You see that, and that's an important aspect of this as well, is how they're coming here, kids, and the way that they're being treated, people, and what they're doing. And not only that there are some governors, some people across the country that are saying, listen, we just can't do it. We're not going to accept illegals here. I think Kristi Noem, another one, the governor of, was it Idaho? I'm trying to think of, I'm not sure who it was.
South Dakota, I believe. There were several governors yesterday that filed lawsuit against the Biden administration saying that the Remain in Mexico policy, what's responsible for catch and release, absolutely has to be reinstated. The pictures that you're talking about, Drew, the United States government is fully responsible. Joe Biden owns those photos, hook, line, and sinker. He created that situation. It did not exist before he changed the policies, and that's why he's being criticized by the president, president of Guatemala and Mexico. The president of Mexico said that President Biden created the expectation that if you come to the United States illegally, you're going to get away with it. So how can we even act like we're surprised that this is going on?
Right. Yeah. And by the way, what I was trying to finish saying is that Kristi Noem, yes, the governor of South Dakota, but also I think the Idaho governor or someone out west was the first one to say this. She joined in as well as other governors, is what I was saying. Also, I'm looking at this story over here talking about George W. Bush on what was it? Just the other day, with Norah O'Donnell, CBS Evening News was talking about his not passing immigration reform. Is one of his biggest regrets. I'm trying to remember what that even was. Like, what was it that he was going after that he could have had? That
there was a package that would have created a pathway, some form of amnesty to the nation's illegal immigrants in exchange for some additional border security. I mean,
right again, and doesn't that harken back to the Reagan days when we were told we were going to get that when that happened, and it never happened. It's that trust that you're supposed to have on the other side that they're going to abide by what is being passed as well, and the dirty secret is they wouldn't have.
Yeah, right. So, the amnesty goes through, and I mean, we've estimated that if you pass an amnesty for the 14.5 million illegal aliens, then their downstream relatives equal roughly 52 million more people who would then be eligible to come to the United States because their formerly illegal alien relatives are now on a pathway to U.S. citizenship. Yeah. So the reason why the Bush amnesty failed in the House of Representatives, passed in the Senate, failed in the House of Representatives, because Americans know that if you incentivize illegal immigration, you just get more illegal immigration. And amnesty is not the solution, and amnesty will simply magnify the problem. I mean, Joe Biden campaigned on an amnesty. So along with destroying everything that was in place at the border, he created the mindset in would-be illegal immigrants that if you give it a try, you might end up with U.S. citizenship. And that's why we're in the fix we're in right now.
Yeah. And no, it's I don't know, D-Ray. I have to disagree. Hold on, because didn't the president say don't come? Hasn't the administration said don't come in some way, shape, or form? And how that's been broadcast all across the Triangle and other places around the globe. Because that's what happens. It just he says it, and it's like. But of course, the policies would dictate otherwise, and most people aren't even agreeing that is actually happening. It's almost like a wink and a nod, like, "Okay, I did it. All right, I said it. Okay." But, yeah, right. I mean, that was another aspect that we talked about a few weeks ago.
A lot of these people are already on the move.
Yeah.
There was a Gallup poll, I believe it was, in Latin America that said 42 million people in Latin America would like to come to the United States. So the Biden administration, I mean. The Mayorkas, the head of DHS, made a very bold announcement saying, we want you to come, we just don't want you to come now.
Right.
So that's the kind of double talk that causes people to pile 25 individuals into an SUV and speed down a highway in California or load a bunch of people under a tractor trailer. Oof. Their rhetoric has created this nightmare scenario, and real innocent human lives and innocent Americans and our national security and the health of our public are all going to pay the price for it.
Yeah. All right, Dave Ray, Federation for American Immigration Reform, fairus.org. You can visit the website to get answers on how we do this, on how we solve this, on the way to go forward. And we always appreciate a few minutes, my friend. Thanks so much.
Great being with you, buddy. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you later. There he goes. Yeah, these photos are horrific from the Post. Chief Patrol Agent Austin Skiro tweeted photos of the immigrants packed in the trailers so tight they were nearly lying on top of one another with barely room to move. So picture a tractor trailer with planks of wood along the floor of the tractor trailer, and then somehow taking a few of those planks of wood and packing 20 people inside those planks of wood, and then covering the planks on the top. I mean, it's horrific to see. It's just awful. 239-479-5592. Let's take a break right now. When we come back, other things to discuss. Pretty interesting that the Florida House now has passed legislation to ban something that I wonder if many of the left in this state in Southwest Florida would agree with and would follow along with if passed, if put on the governor's desk. What they would say about it. Even something having to do with mask face coverings in our schools. That's coming up as well. We're going to get to those topics and more. Stay break, 92.5 Fox News, right all along, drewsteele.com. That's the website if you want to watch. That's Sabrina Katz. She's got traffic.
The crash on the interstate at mile marker 127 heading south towards Alico, a rollover crash in the median, is delaying traffic almost 2.5 miles. So south of Daniels, don't get stuck in that. You have tree line that's up to speed 41 or Michael G. Rip Parkway. There's a crash as well at 136 southbound on 75. This is towards Colonial Boulevard. Still seeing that slowdown south of MLK. A lot of traffic is trying to avoid this on Ortiz, so the best option you have is Forum Boulevard to Colonial. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. It's a tad warm and muggy as you step out the door this morning. And this afternoon, more of the same. Temperatures will peak in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny and a little bit breezy, especially if you are heading to the coast. More warmth on the way as we approach the weekend before our next chance of rain rolls in on Sunday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Brad McDaniel here, the second generation of Kenmark Air. Kenmark Air is celebrating 25 years of professional, honest, and top-rated service in Southwest Florida. To celebrate, Kenmark Air has its own branded air conditioning system, the K. McDaniel Series, named after our father, Ken McDaniel. The K. McDaniel Series is a completely coated outside system with storm protection, and for a limited time, we're offering 25% off qualifying high-efficient K. McDaniel systems. Call today for a free in-home estimate, 239-437-7040, and online at kenmarkair.com. License number CAC 057163.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. On approved credit and Sunday.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. That's the website. In case you want to comment, call, watch the comments and reaction. We see those up on the website as well, and always appreciate that. You know, every time we bring up the marijuana issue and THC and all of this here in the state, and, you know, you see some of the headlines, and I'm looking even from the past day. Will Florida ever legalize recreational marijuana? Guest opinion on the news press, the fight to save Florida's medical marijuana program. The queen of all things that have to do with pot happens to be Nikki Fried, right? And she has a PSA that she did, or whatever this thing was that she did, right?
I'm Nikki Fried,
Yeah.
your Commissioner of Agriculture.
Yeah.
And I want to show you something.
Yeah.
This is my medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
It's legal and a direct result of 71% of Floridians voting to allow medical marijuana.
Yep.
But you wouldn't know that in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I know, because they were going to take it away and everything else. And see, here's the thing about the THC issue, and I'm just asking the question, and it's this: you can make accommodations for anything. You can make accommodations certainly when it comes to Lee County and the school district and restrooms for those who identify as a different gender than they are biologically. You can make an accommodation, and there it is. You can make an accommodation when it comes to the amount of THC. When people are saying, why are we capping THC? What are we doing that for? Well, If you're telling me there's a medical issue where you need more and that's what the doctor says that you should have, then couldn't we make an accommodation for somebody who can show us that that's what they need, and for that individual they would have it, but across the board it might be different? I'm just asking. Maybe that's not what the situation is. Maybe that's not what I should be talking about, but I'm just asking accommodations. We can make it individual for each person, right?
Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Spring sales drive, Marty.
You moving them doggies out, Marty, man?
Yeah, sure, everything goes.
Oh,
Yep.
So you're marking them up to sit on the lot another year.
No.
Marty, you know you can't beat Victory Lane Chevy's huge roundup of new 2021 Chevy Equinox LTs with up to 20% off MSRP.
Who says?
Or choose new 2021 Chevy Traverse LT, up to 15% off MSRP. Marty, you ever see those Western movies with the gigantic cattle drives?
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
Well, this isn't one of them, but it's close. The savings are blooming at Victory Lane Chevrolet's Spring Sales Drive. Find new roads and save up to 20% off MSRP on new 2021 Chevy Equinox or new Chevy Traverse with up to 15% off MSRP. All with our goal of 100% credit approval. It's sales drive time, buckaroos, at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 4/30/2021.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence.
Oh, yes.
So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
News. I'm Chris Foster. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's made an unannounced visit to Afghanistan for meetings about President Biden's decision to withdraw American troops.
We'll begin our troop withdrawal by May 1st, and we'll complete it before the 20th anniversary of 9/11 later this year.
Secretary Blinken yesterday in Belgium there after a meeting with NATO allies. Jurors at former police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial in Minneapolis hear from a medical expert that George Floyd's death was not caused by the knee on his neck.
Defense medical examiner Dr. David Fowler cited a mixture of factors: heart disease, blocked arteries, fentanyl, and methamphetamine in Floyd's system, as well as possible carbon monoxide poisoning from the auto exhaust near Floyd's head, contradicting the state's experts who testified that Floyd died of a lack of oxygen as a result of being pinned down.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on the interstate at mile marker 127 heading south towards Alico. A rollover crash in the median is delaying traffic almost 2.5 miles. So south of Daniels, don't get stuck in that. You have tree line that's up to speed 41 or Michael G. Rip Parkway. There's a crash as well at 136 southbound on 75. This is towards Colonial Boulevard. Still seeing that slowdown south of MLK. A lot of traffic is trying to avoid this on Ortiz, so the best option you have is Forum Boulevard to Colonial. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon, too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze, and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
The new administration has big plans for health care. Changes are coming that could limit your choices and make your health insurance premiums even higher. Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network recently saved a family of 4 here in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan which allows you to pick your doctors and hospitals. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can look into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. While starting my first of 5 successful businesses, I foolishly did my own accounting. I stuck the more difficult tax forms in a drawer for later, which caused the tax man to cometh. That little mistake took an entire team of accountants weeks to prevent the tax man from clubbing me. Moral of this story? Use Patriot's accounting software because it's easy, and tell your accountant to use the same accounting software you use. Then, if the tax man cometh, you'll be the one holding the club. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with your Week 6 legislative update from the state capitol in Tallahassee. This week was budget week in the state capitol, and we fulfilled our constitutional duty by passing a balanced budget of just over $97 billion. The Florida Senate budget came in at $95 billion, so we have about a $2 billion divide that we're going to have to work out between the two chambers. And of course, the governor still has line item veto power once we send the budget to his desk. Some of the highlights. We appropriated $3 million to strengthen our elections process against cyber attacks, $665 million for Everglades restoration and related water projects, and a new funding stream of $18 million to help improve Florida's foster care system. We also drafted a plan to replenish our unemployment compensation fund without raising taxes on small businesses. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Thank you for listening, because this is your government and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, Post Office Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida 33918.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3's. I'm just laughing because the things that happen behind the scenes, and Jake upset with himself and shaking his head, and he gets all upset. Don't do it. Don't beat yourself up, my friend. When things happen behind the scenes, nobody can see you. Nobody knows. For example, if I didn't say anything right now about what just happened behind the scenes that you were so upset about, then nobody would have known it. So isn't that a good thing?
No. Thanks for calling me up.
Yeah. Well, there's that side. I guess did I just self-explain myself? Is that a thing?
Are you mansplaining me right now?
Is that what that is? No, that's not. No. It was like a self-explain.
I heard it yesterday.
What, the mansplaining?
Some guy was trying to explain. He's like, I'm not mansplaining or anything. Whatever.
Is it mansplaining when, and maybe 239-479-5592, getting completely off topic, not where I wanted to go today, but is it mansplaining when it's a man who's telling a woman about something that they do that a man couldn't explain?
Not necessarily. Like say a girl's just doing something and you walk over and try to help her. Technically, that's mansplaining because you decided to go over and mansplain. Well, you can do it like this. Whatever.
Are you sure that's what that is?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But you sounded, the funny part of it, you sounded so confident and feisty when you said it, as if you knew and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's just kind of like, I'm not going to hold doors open for anybody anymore.
Well, what? No, don't be like that.
What do you mean?
I had the conversation with my wife, a little inside Drew Steele baseball. Here we go. And stay with me on this conversation because it's important. It's important. It's an important conversation. Keep the mic on. I want you to be involved with this.
I'm talking to you.
How many times on this program have I said to you, because we're an open book. I mean, I'm talking to you and you, Jake, but I'm talking to everybody who's watching at drewsteele.com and listening, that I made it a point on this program, and I talk about my son all the time, and you know a lot about the things that are going on with my family and my son and how he's reptile crazy and grabbing snakes and the snake charmer and all these other things that he's doing and building, and he's constantly outside, doesn't play video games, and just not like the other kids on the. I was just telling. I don't remember who I was talking to this weekend, but I was telling him about how when the kids come home from school in the neighborhood, typically they're inside playing video games. They're doing whatever they're doing, right? My son goes outside to go get them, and everybody on the block's playing outside. He has made it so that there are things to do outside and activities to do that you don't have to be inside. The world is your video game.
Your playground.
Literally and figuratively. I walk outside yesterday and they're building a fort between two shrubs outside, and they're playing cops and robbers, and they're doing all of these different things, right? And they're just playing and outside and enjoying the weather and enjoying each other and having fun. And so there's a lot of things that that are happening in the Steele household. But one of the conversations I was having with my wife was about how, and you know this, about how you can't be afraid to teach your kids the things that you grew up with and the things that are right, proper to do, like to be chivalrous. Why is that such a bad thing? Chivalry. Why stop? To your point. Like, why stop doing these things? You should do these things. You should be opening a door for someone. Why can't you do that? All of a sudden, we have a society that says you can't do that. Why?
Not necessarily, but I'm just going to keep it to the people that matter to me most.
But don't do that.
Why?
Because you should open it up to everybody, because you never know. Man, is this an allegory? I'm trying to think of what this might be. I might be using the wrong term. English majors will correct me.
Oh, they will.
When you do that for everyone, you never know who you're opening the door for. That will be the next person to say, I'm going to open the door for somebody else. Or, this was such a kind gesture. There are good people in the world. We're not, it's not Armageddon. There is hope, especially with you and being a millennial and somehow how people will look at you and say, well, this person is not going to do it, because they're going to make a judgment. You can grab the phones. They're going to make a judgment by the way somebody looks, or the way somebody is dressed, or because they're younger, or they'll never do these things. Well, so prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And again, I'm getting completely off topic, and I promise you I will bring this train back. But off the air, we were having the conversation. I had a conversation with Jake about another conversation that was happening in my house. And I'll take it back to something that's in the house, but a little different, but maybe not. You know, we were laughing about the medical marijuana issue, not really laughing about it, but being serious about some of the discussions that I had in accommodations, and how somehow, some way, everything has to be across the board one way, and it's one way or the highway, and we can't make accommodations for people, and we can't have nice things, because when somebody says, oh no, we're voting on this because we just want this in this lane, this is all we want. And then once that passes and we get this one lane, then it's like, all right, now we want the highway. No. We voted for the lane. We don't need to build a highway. We've got the lane. No, because the lane's not enough. We need a full highway. Then after the highway, we need a whole city. No, it's like you can't have nice things, because you can't trust that on any level that somebody is not going to take advantage of what you're doing. And most of the time, it's about being a kind to someone else. Or when somebody says, man, can we just pass this law because it's going to be so good in this way? And they appeal to your better nature, and you're like, yeah, I guess that's true. And then you do that, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, how much further can we take? Wait a minute, what do you mean how much further can we take this? I've taken this to the place that you explained to me and articulated so well where it needs to be in that lane, and all of a sudden that lane's not enough. And man, you could take that anywhere you want. Even with taxes and all kinds of things. But I was telling Jake that on the heels of that conversation, that how many times have you been told, man, we're going to a really crazy place? Getting completely off topic, but you didn't know what the topic was anyway that I was going for. Okay, follow me on this. And this is just me, and I might be an audience of one, but I'll say it anyway. How many times were you told in the past that all the things that you cared about that speak to your values, to virtue, to the goodness of people, to the good in life? How many times were you told that it's never going to be that way? That's never going to happen. You're saying all of this because you're just trying to you're a fearmonger. You're tinfoil hat. You're just saying this because, I don't know, fill in the blank. And next thing you know it, years later, there it is. And I'll give you a perfect example. How many of you of a certain age and generation were told that when it comes to the cultural revolution and the culture in this country, we're never going to get to a place where video games and music and movies are ever going to create a culture in a society. We're never going to get to a place where you're going to have 9 and 10-year-olds that are going to be hearing about things that only their parents should be discussing, and that there's going to be certain things that are happening sexually in schools and in institutions and in society at ages that is completely and utterly inappropriate. And it's and the dressing up and the different things that are going on in Halloween costumes or whatever it is. It's never going to happen. Why do you even say things like that? You're just doing that because. And then what happened? Right, Jake? And then what happened, Jake? What happened? And that's what we talked about. That it's true and that it did happen. And how we were bashed for so many years and for so long for just speaking up to our values and the things that we saw that could be coming. And my wife was talking about a story about how and it goes to the playtime and being able to play with your kids and how you have certain parents that, you know, if a little kid goes like bang, 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 you know, they're playing guns and being silly. The first reaction of the mom is, no, Johnny, don't do that. Don't shoot your mommy. That's a bad thing. Why would you do that? Why would you play guns like that? No, don't do. It's completely stifling just the creativity or even that moment, instead of, you know, like going, oh, you got me, and then kind of playing and being silly and maybe chasing after your kid and having a little bit of fun. And no, we've completely destroyed that. We've completely killed that idea or anything like that. And then what does Johnny do? Johnny goes to his room and plays Fortnite, where I don't even know what they're doing on Fortnite. What are they doing?
Well, you know, they're shooting each other.
They're shooting each other.
But, you know, it's safe to say that it's kind of in our DNA that violence is some form of entertainment. I mean, because back in Rome, we used to put people in cages with lions. So I don't know if you can ever get rid of it.
Well, it's well, not with that attitude, you can't.
Well, it goes back.
We can't ever get rid of it. So why don't we encourage it more? Now I'm
not saying to encourage it more. I mean, parents need to parent.
Yeah, they do, and they can. And if together, collectively, see what I did there? We came together and said, yeah, we don't do this. It's not who we are, and we don't. And we do have values, and we do have virtue, and we are trying more and more to be people that are virtuous. If we do that more, then we could have quite an amazing society. But you can't be virtuous because, well, you know, you're just not allowed to do that because it's, the culture has passed you by. Has it? It's only passed you by, and it's only taken over if you allow it. It's sort of like when Democrats tell you and the liberals tell you that this is just the way society is, everybody. You just got to have to accept it. No, I don't accept it. Yeah, you're never going to win another election. I don't believe that. Yeah, you can forget about it. No. I don't need the media telling me that. I don't need the left telling me that. I don't need anybody telling me about how I'm never going to see what I would like to see when it comes to to the country coming together, to unifying under this flag, to being patriotic, to caring about and supporting our heroes, real heroes, the men and women who serve this country each and every, as we speak, they're doing it. The men and women who serve our communities, the officers, the firefighters, first responders, these people that I look at and love and respect. I'm never going to stop doing that. I'm not going to defund them. It's not going to happen. And just because you tell me that I should, and it's going to, and everything's passed you by, the culture's passed you, no, sorry, not doing it. All right. Sorry about that, because that was completely and utterly not where I wanted to go. But that's all right. But here's what I do want to do. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll take caller number 9 right now at 239-479-5592. The 9th caller is going to win a $100 gift certificate from Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center, 6th Avenue South in Naples, just for playing. Drew's College, ninth caller. I hope that all made sense to you. Did it make a little bit of sense, Jake, what I was saying? Did you understand?
No, I understood.
No? Okay.
I understood.
All right. If Jake understood, then that's not really fit. That's not nice. All right, ninth caller, you'll win the $100 gift certificate. That boom, bum, 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 bum. I feel musical today. $100 gift certificate to Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center, and play Drew's College next. All right, Sabrina Katz says traffic.
2 crashes on the interstate, still slowing traffic. If you are heading towards I-75, think about avoiding it. A crash near Colonial Boulevard heading southbound is delaying traffic for 2 miles. The delay starts south of MLK. Just stick to Forum Boulevard. Now, if you're heading south towards Alico, avoid the interstate. South of Daniels, the best thing you can do is take Tree Line, Michael G. Rip, or even US 41. We have a crash reported at Daniels and Tree Line, slowing traffic for a half mile westbound on Daniels. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. It's a tad warm and muggy as you step out the door this morning. And this afternoon, more of the same. Temperatures will peak in the mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny and a little bit breezy, especially if you are heading to the coast. More warmth on the way as we approach the weekend before our next chance of rain rolls in on Sunday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Dr. Shane Walker here at Thrive Chiropractic and host of the Wellness Hour on 92.5 Fox News for nearly 20 years. And let's face it, many of us are really stressed right now, and that is creating an increase in the number of folks who are dealing with neck pain, headaches, tension across the upper mid-back, anxiety and nervousness. And if you haven't experienced the release of tension that a chiropractic adjustment can produce within your nervous system, go to thrivenaples.com. That's Thrive, Thrive, Naples.com for a special offer. That's thrivenaples.com.
We saved serious cash with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough for a new boat. They'll probably spend it on rent or gas money or maybe one of those little plastic wading pools for the yard.
Ahoy there!
Is what the captain might say. On the toy boat. In your wading pool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Shannon in Naples. Hey, Shannon.
Hello.
Hello. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics and more you get right. The higher the degree, we'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree. Question starts right now. Shannon, do you know the governor of the great state of Florida? Who is that individual?
DeSantis.
That is correct. All right, you got a associates. We can see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. The first president of the United States was George Washington. Who was the second?
That would be, Adams?
That is correct. All right, you get a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Wait, where did it go? All right, there it is. Can you name one reason why colonists came to America? Why during the colonial period? What is one reason that they came here, the colonists?
Religious freedom.
That is correct. All right, you got a master's. We will see if you get a PhD on this question. Oh, where did it go? I had it. It was a really good one. And here you go. Okay. In 1992, do you remember there were 3 candidates for president of the United States? Do you remember that? 3? 1992?
Actually, I was serving overseas, so I don't know.
Oh, no, okay.
Remember.
All right, well, there was George H.W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there? 1992. Think about it. 1992 was
92. Ross Perot. I don't know.
That's right. That's 2. Who was the third? Who was the third?
Let's see. Clinton.
That is correct. We got it. All right, that's good, man. Thank goodness for that Google machine. I mean, your brain to figure all of that out. That was just amazing. All right, Shannon. Well, congratulations. You got a PhD today. You should be awfully proud. Kind of, sort of, and you got a $100 gift certificate to Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center. We're talking skincare, facials, Botox, chemical peels, cool sculpting, weight loss treatments. 6th Avenue South in Naples. That's where they are, and it's yours. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, stay right where you are, okay? And more we have tomorrow, right? We have another one tomorrow? Okay, good.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield Hurricane Windows and Doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7000. 491-7002.
License number CGCA 60475.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
Where some Republicans fear a planned U.S. troop withdrawal by September will lead to disaster, Senator Lindsey Graham.
Every terrorist camp in the world is on steroids today because in their world they beat us. In their world, they drove us out.
President Biden says it's time to go, but adds,
the Taliban should know that if they attack us as we draw down, we will defend ourselves and our partners with all the tools at our disposal.
Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
Dave, hours after President Biden's announcement, Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in the Afghan capital, Kabul, and he told Afghan President Ashraf Ghani that the U.S. remains committed to Afghanistan.
We have a partnership that is changing but enduring.
President Ghani said he respects the United States decision. There is huge uncertainty about what the withdrawal means for Afghanistan, including speculation the Taliban might return to power. Dave?
Simon, Republicans are also pushing back on a new Democratic plan to add 4 justices to the Supreme Court. GOP Congressman Jim Jordan.
This is a radical takeover of our country, and we better stop it.
Democrats will unveil their plan on the steps of the court today.
That would let President Biden appoint more liberal justices and override the conservative majority the court has now. The president has said he's against packing the court, but he did issue an executive order a few days ago to create a commission to look at possible Supreme Court reforms.
Fox's Jill Nato. It's off to court today for Kim Potter, the now ex-cop charged with manslaughter for killing Daunte Wright at a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, where a fourth night of protests were not quite as violent.
We're thankful that tonight the tension and the anxiety and the stress seem to be lower, even though emotions are still high.
State Patrol Colonel Matt Langer. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News. Wink News traffic.
2 crashes on the interstate, still slowing traffic. If you are heading towards I-75, think about avoiding it. A crash near Colonial Boulevard heading southbound is delaying traffic for 2 miles. The delay starts south of MLK. Just stick to 4 Boulevard. Now, if you're heading south towards Alico, avoid the interstate. South of Daniels, the best thing you can do is take Tree Line, Michael G. Rip, or even US 41. We have a crash reported at Daniels and Tree Line, slowing traffic for a half mile westbound on Daniels. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Trust 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating to help keep your AC running strong. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehouраir.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Oh my goodness, all this paperwork.
Is your favorite part of running your business accounting and payroll?
Not even close.
It's complicated and time-consuming, right?
Yeah, and I'm never sure if it's exactly right, you know?
Yes, we know. So, here at Patriot, we've made it ridiculously easy. Run the average payroll in less than 3 minutes. Get up and running with our Fast Start accounting. Just 3 clicks and you're ready to go. Just go to patriotsoftware.com and get a free trial of the best cloud-based accounting and payroll software. There is no obligation, no long-term contract, just ridiculously easy accounting and payroll software. And you want that, right?
Easy to learn, easy to use. Small business software tailored just for you.
Get it at patriotsoftware.com. It's ridiculously easy.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
These grapes are great. Hey, grocery guy, are these fresh?
You should know. You've eaten enough of them.
I always sample the grapes.
You've practically eaten a whole bag, sir.
So what are you going to do about it, grocery guy?
Watch your head while getting in the squad car, sir.
Well, officer, I thought the grapes were free.
At Rock Solid, your sink is free, along with free bathroom countertop materials. Just pay for installation when you get kitchen countertops.
Grapes aren't free, but bathroom countertop materials are at Rock Solid.
JNC Boulevard, Naples, rocksolidnaples.com or 596-7676. Rock Solid, where you always get more.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. On approved credit and Sunday.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's, and we always appreciate you joining us. Congressman Byron Donalds, Thursdays. We always appreciate the fact that he is here with us, and thanks so much for that. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. Not happy, but I'm doing good.
You're not happy? Why are you not happy? Where would you like to start? Would you like to start with the border, student debt forgiveness? I don't know where you want to go. Where would you like to go today?
I mean, I'm not happy because our country is being taken advantage of by the cartel, and this administration is allowing it to happen, frankly, on purpose. There's no possible way you can be the commander-in-chief and not be aware of what's going on the southern border.
Yeah.
And to be real brief, what's happening is the cartel is trafficking children. They're making $15 million a week doing that. At the same time, they're also still trafficking cocaine, fentanyl, and the rest. And what's happening is that it's a shell game. The cartel is using, frankly, the weak policies of this administration when it comes to border securities, or frankly, the non-existent policies of this administration when it comes to border security. And they're using it against us. And you have cartel members who are literally waving at Border Patrol across the Rio Grande and laughing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not happy.
You were there. You saw it firsthand. You talked to those, the Border Patrol, and the reaction there, certainly they see what you see. They know what's going on. The vice president, who is planning on visiting everywhere else except the border, and says that Mayorkas has got this handled, and, the crisis is getting better, by the way, is improved. Really? Is it? I don't hear one single person saying that it is. Just because it's not in the news cycle today doesn't mean that it's going away. It's not. What did you hear as you're talking to them? They must be incredibly frustrated because they see the same things you do.
Oh, they're super frustrated. They know that the cartel. Let me take a step back.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for everybody to understand, south of our southern border, the cartels control every square mile south of the southern border. They control it all. There is not a person that can get to our southern border without the cartel being paid. Frankly, there is not a business that can ship cargo to our southern border without the cartel being paid. What I was told was if you're just a regular company shipping product, the tractor trailers that got to drive to the southern border, they got to pay the cartel $250 for the cartel to get through, or they're risking their lives. This is what's going on down there. So the fact that this administration is allowing this policy to exist, what the cartel is doing, they're moving kids with one hand, and then when Border Patrol goes to pick up the children, then they're moving the drugs and everything else with the other hand. And they're making millions and millions of dollars every single week doing this. On top of that, in our border detention facilities, which are overrun, and we've all seen the video and we've seen the pictures, this administration through HHS is shipping children all over the United States. They're shipping young children to unmarked hotels, literally hotels that have no occupancy. They've not been open. The administration is basically renting these hotels completely, and they're putting children in them. I actually went and toured Fort Bliss before I left Texas. I went to the Fort Bliss facility unannounced by myself. You walk in there, they have these massive tent facilities. These tents are the size of football fields. Inside the tent facilities are cots. Two cots, basically, it's two people to a cot. It's a cot 4 feet off the floor, then another cot 2 feet off the floor. That's one cot. The cots are maybe a foot apart, filling a tent the size of a football field. In Fort Bliss, they're saying right now they have probably more than 2,000 kids, and that's growing because they're adding to the facility every single day. So this administration knows we got a problem because they're building emergency facilities all across the country, whether it's tent facilities, the convention center in Dallas, or unmarked hotels all across the United States. There was a busload of kids leaving the El Paso detention facility, getting on a bus. We're doing one of these photo ops, and I see this line of kids going to get on a coach bus. So I walk over there and talk to the adult in charge with these kids, and I said, hey, where are you taking these kids? The adult looks at me and says, I can't talk to you. And I was like, the hell you can. I'm a member of Congress. Where are you taking these kids? And so they finally blurt out, we're taking them to San Diego. I'm in El Paso, Texas.
What?
They're putting these kids on the bus, taking them to San Diego, California, to put them in a hotel. This is what's going on. So here's what I'm going to foreshadow. I'm going to calm down for a moment for the listeners.
All right.
What you're going to see in a couple of weeks, my opinion, is that Kamala Harris or Joe Biden is actually going to go down to the border. And they're going to go tour one of these tent facilities that they're working on right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell the American people, look how we're taking care of these kids. This is a humanitarian crisis. We're doing a way better job of this than the previous administration. Meanwhile, these children are being trafficked from Guatemala, El Salvador. They're being trafficked on a 5-day journey, 20-day journey. The cartel is making millions and millions of dollars. These kids are coming into the United States. They are illegal. They are being released to people who might be legal or illegal in the United States. That's happening too. The president is going to sit there and pat himself on the back saying they did a tremendous job. And we, the American people, are being played by the cartel and by the radical open border policies of this administration.
So many things come to mind right now. You know, the the first, and I don't know if you had a chance to see this photo that was in the New York Post of a Border Patrol agent who found 18 adults and 2 kids hiding under the tractor trailer boards that are in the back of the tractor trailer. The sight of this, the visual, the photo that was put out there, that was tweeted, is unbelievable, and it's awful to see what is going on here. Laying one on top of the other, barely space to move. These kids that are laying there. I mean, it's awful to see. And then you have the other side that. And I'll tell you what a lot of the people that I talk to, Congressman, is the frustration is this. What is this administration doing to show us that they care, frankly, about the country, that they care about the future of this country the way that we do? Give me something, some policy, whether it's the border or anything that's going on right now. Where are we seeing some kind of light that would show us that the left in this country, the Democrats in this country, actually care and want to support and build upon what a great country we are, and instead are doing quite the opposite and tearing it down? And this is just another example.
I can't really point to one. I'm just being honest. I'm up here. I'm looking for the policies. I can't really point to one. I would tell you it's actually quite indicative that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez have not really said much. They've been actually quiet. That's telling. Their silence is deafening, because the reason why they're basically silent and not saying anything is because they're getting exactly what they want. And so if you believe in a woke, Marxist future for America, then this administration's for you.
Wow.
That's all
Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. To kind of go a little broader with that topic. I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody and trying to find this light, because that's what a lot of people are doing. They're looking at all of this. They see the 2020 election. They see the results of the election. They see what is happening. Community after community, the people that I talk to, and I'm sure you do as well. And let's be honest, there are probably people from different areas of the country that that are probably even Democrats that would be willing to admit that this is not what the American people signed up for. 847 million people did not vote for Joe Biden to have all of this happen. And I wonder if there is a backlash here. I wonder if there's something very telling that's coming down the line in 22. Which is that even the House, as close as the House is, right? I mean, we're not talking about an overwhelming majority in the House where you are. It's not.
Nope.
So, it's
a 2-vote majority.
Right. It's a 2-vote majority. My fingers are thinly spread apart. We are this close to flipping this, to changing it. The beginning of what could be something that is looking good on the horizon. We have to get to that point, but they have to see what we see. They have to.
I totally agree with you. But here's what I think is actually happening. Pelosi, Schumer, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they are looking at this as their window in time, as their opportunity. Yeah. They might not ever have an opportunity as good as this, even though they have almost non-existent majorities in both chambers. I mean, they don't have a majority in the Senate. They have Kamala Harris breaking ties. And so they're going to take this opportunity to push every single agenda item on the progressive left through the door. That's what they're going to try to do. And frankly, I think the hope is this. I think the American people are taking a look at this, whether it's you're talking about, what's happening with Georgia's law and these companies that are out of control, whether you want to talk about big tech censorship, whether you want to talk about the massive coronavirus bill, frankly, that will cut Medicare because the Democrats have been so irresponsible. Where you want to talk about this infrastructure bill where really only 5% goes to roads and bridges, maybe call it 15% goes to waterways, broadbands, roads and bridges. The rest of it is for an expansion of Medicaid, the Green New Deal, and corporate tax increases, which we frankly do not need because the federal government has taken more money in corporate income taxes in the last 2 years than it ever has in the history of the United States. Period. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like, we've never taken in more money, but they want to raise taxes. And so what we're seeing is, I think you're going to have a response and a revolt. Only, in fact, in one very important thing, you have a lot of Americans who are fleeing to free states, like our great state of Florida, to get away from these Democrats that have no idea what they are doing. They don't know how to run anything. All they know how to do is tax, spend, and put forward their ideology. And I think Americans are sick of it. And frankly, there's not Donald Trump is not there for them to just blame and point at anymore. Now it is their policies. And I think Americans in the next elections are going to look at that and they're going to be like, you know what? These people are nuts.
Yeah, because they're going to feel it.
That's the future.
Right, because they're going to feel it. It's going to be tangible to them, the results of these policies. That's when it becomes real. You know, it's when it's at your doorstep. It's when it's in your home. It is affecting you personally. It's tangible. That's when it becomes real, and it will. And I guess, you know, talking about some of the things that you just brought up, and many different items that are out there, and I wonder, for example, when you talk about, I know one thing that I wanted to bring up this morning was the issue of student debt forgiveness. And and you know, you get into the monetary side of things that are going on, and you know, it is amazing to me how well people in DC spend other people's money. It's incredible how they do it, and the things that will affect us at home, and the student debt forgiveness issue is certainly one that is going to force individuals into places and certain individuals that will be affected more than others. Can you describe a little bit about what's happening with that and what you've talked about with regard to the student debt forgiveness and some of the other things that, you know, fiscally, because there are people that do care about fiscal responsibility, and thank you, Congressman Byron Donald. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so with student loan forgiveness, what they're trying to do is Elizabeth Warren and Ayanna Pressley, both out of Massachusetts, they want the federal government to forgive all student loan debt up to $50,000 for every borrower. They say it's going to affect 95% of the American people. They say student loan debt is a racial equity issue because it disproportionately impacts more black people than white people, so on and so forth. This is their talking point. You cannot just cancel debt. Nothing is free. And actually, I testified in Elizabeth Warren's committee this week to this very fact. Nothing is free. You cannot simply just cancel debt. The debt is going to be borne by somebody. And so literally what their proposal is that if you went to college and got a humanities degree from a private college and you probably have $40,000 of student loan debt, they'll cancel your debt while the person who went to high school, went and learned a trade, worked hard, has a construction company, is a contractor themselves, so learning the ropes. If you're a welder, if you're an electrician, if you're an auto mechanic, if you run a lawn maintenance business, if you're a hotelier and you didn't go to college or you already paid off your student loan debt, you're responsible for paying the debt of other people. That's what they're doing. Yep. And this is a shell game. This is redistribution of wealth through the back door. They want the American taxpayer to pick up the tab for the bills, frankly, that somebody else accrued. Now, listen, let me tell you something. I have student loan debt, still do. When I got out of college, it was around $29,000. I think I'm around $9,000, and I'm still paying. I thank the good Lord I have the ability to even pay that debt because my degree in finance and marketing is what allowed me to change my socioeconomic stripes in life. I wouldn't be where I am without the ability to have done that. But to unilaterally say that now because, whatever the reasons, whatever the choices, the degree I sought, whatever happened, it didn't work out for me. So now, Drew, it's your responsibility to pay my student loan debt is outrageous. Yeah. Once you set a precedent like that in the United States, you're literally going to be pitting American against American. And I don't care if you're white, you're black, or whatever. That's how disastrous these kind of policies are. And when you debate them on these things, they are self-righteous that you would even speak against it. Like, they're outraged that you would even speak against it. They're saying, well, people will be helped. That's not the point. The job of the federal government is not to set right all wrongs. The job of the federal government is to live under the Constitution and to pass laws that respect the Constitution and respect the liberty of all Americans in our country. That's the purpose of what we're supposed to be doing up here. And to translate the student loan debt argument is what they're talking about with D.C. statehood. D.C. statehood's another thing. In D.C. statehood, they're trying to just make D.C. a state. They're ignoring the 23rd Amendment. They're ignoring the 5th Amendment. And you had a knucklehead like Jamie Raskin in our committee the other day. He says, oh, well, the Constitution's not a straitjacket. Congress has the ability to legislate, so we should just legislate. And I had to set him straight. And I said, no, you're wrong. The Constitution is a straitjacket against Congress. We don't just get to do what we want as members of Congress and then go fix the Constitution later. If you want to make D.C. a state, amend the Constitution and then go through the process of making D.C. a state. They don't want to do that because they know there's no way they will be able to get it done. So you have people up here who have no respect for the Constitution. They have no respect for, frankly, the debt and the choices and the income that people take on, people earn in their everyday lives. They think they can just legislate for everybody else and everybody will love it and be okay because it'll help some people. But what it will really do, it will pit American against American.
Byron Donalds, Congressman.
I'm fired up right now.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I can keep talking just by what you said. I mean, that there's so many things that get me fired up when I hear you speak. And, one of the things is I'll say this, and you don't have to comment on it if you don't want to, but I'm just going to say this. This is why so many people have frustration with those that want to work across the aisle. We can reach across the aisle and we can work together. No, because if you have individuals who clearly do not care about the Constitution, who clearly will go around it, who clearly don't want to abide by the Constitution, the constitutional republic we are, the rule of law, then why in the world are we looking to work together with people? Because their intent is not even to be in the same place at the end of the day that you are. It's just not. And so the answer is we defeat them at the ballot box. They have to go so that we can right the ship, right the wrongs, show people what the way it should be, as opposed to somehow acquiescing to the left or saying that we could find middle. How do you find middle ground with people who don't even stand for the Constitution? I mean, you don't have to answer it, but that's what gets me all fired up by what you're talking about, and oftentimes. What I think,
You don't find middle ground with that. There can't be any compromise on that. We can compromise on the language in a bill, but you can't compromise on first principles.
Right.
You just simply can't.
Right.
And so you have to go win at the ballot box. Yep. And that's what we intend to do in 2022.
You bet. You better believe it. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds, we always appreciate it. We love Thursdays. We'll see you soon, okay?
See you, Drew. I feel much better now.
You do? Good. And I feel like I had a small part in that. Or maybe it was just you got it all out of your system, but this is a good place to do that, to vent and to feel better. All right. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you, Drew.
There he goes. 239. He feels better. Good. 239. So do I, to be quite honest. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
92.5 Fox News proudly presents The Plot Against the President, showing at the Silver Spot Theater at Mercado in Naples, Thursday, April 29th. Featuring live and in person, California Congressman Devin Nunes, Kash Patel, Jack Langer, and producer Amanda Milius. The Plot Against the President is presented by Alfie Townshend and Advantage Retirement Group, PlantationShuttersForYou.com. Keep listening to 92.5 Fox News for details.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds at the most competitive prices in the world. Jason and Todd have partnered with De Beers in Canada and Africa, and they've traveled to Israel, Antwerp, and India to select the most beautiful diamonds. Visit the Diamond District today for your best diamond buying experience.
Show your love for the environment and our community this Earth Day, April 22nd, by participating in Collier County's Reuse and Recycle event. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., you can bring hazardous products from around the house. Things like paint, batteries, electronics, and prescription medications for environmentally safe disposal. You can bring paper for shredding and clothing and books for donation. This Recycle and Reuse event will be held at Naples Town Center in East Naples in the Goodwill parking lot at 3759 Tamiami Trail. You don't have to wait until Earth Day to show your love for the environment. Collier County's recycling centers are open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by Collier County Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Division, Operation Medicine Cabinet, Goodwill Industries of Florida, and Safeguard Shredding. For information, call 252-7575. That's 252-7575. Come celebrate Earth Day with us on April 22nd from 9 to 4.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. You might have seen our matte gray trucks with blue and white lettering on the road. Just know that in every truck you see, there's a certified technician who is trained to repair your system, not just sell you a system. As always, you can chat with us online at getpureair.com. Also, please join me every Saturday at 11:30 for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
Back in 1908, a lad named William Murphy was struck by a bolt of genius. Hi, it's Joseph Edison. His creation? A bed that folds from a closet or wall, transforming any room into a bedroom. Today, the master designers at Closet Factory are creating custom Murphy beds with more style than Murphy could have imagined, while still miraculously turning one room into 2. So if you could use a little extra room, utility, and style at your house, talk to the people who do that every day at closetfactory.com.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, the real estate market's hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. If people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. If you thought about selling your home, now is the time to do it, but you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for 20 years. Mistakes in real estate, well, they can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So Anthony's created a free value pack training that's going to reveal 3 secrets on how to sell your home fast and for top dollar in this crazy real estate market. It's free. It won't cost you anything. Just go to GomesBuysHomes.com now. There's no obligation. GomesBuysHomes.com now.
I wish people would learn to come in sooner. Unfortunately, by the time they come in our stores, they're almost desperate. They've been struggling trying to find a solution for their problem. They're looking with hope in their eyes. You've got to be able to help me.
You're listening to Beth, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
A construction guy comes in and told me, I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My feet hurt so bad, I can't do what I need to do at work. You gotta help me. It's unbelievable how quickly the product changes some things for some people.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
When you're able to help them work more efficiently, more comfortably, and they're back and doing things that they've been wanting to do, things that they've missed. I go home every day proud of what I've done.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
A crash just south of Luckett on I-75 is now delaying traffic heading south towards MLK, so just stick to Ortiz. The interstate has been crazy this morning. We also still have the crash at Mile-Marker 128 heading south towards Alico. Rolled over vehicle in the median here. Tow truck just arrived, but still seeing that slowdown south of Daniels, so Tree Line is your closest alternate. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. You will notice it's a tad more muggy and warm this morning and really into the afternoon too, as temperatures peak in the mid to upper 80s. We will factor in a breeze and it'll still be mostly sunny, but you may notice that wind a bit of a factor, especially if you're close to the coastline this afternoon. Now, as we get closer to the weekend, the wind continues to crank, but what else starts to increase is our rainfall potential. Few showers and storms as early as Sunday, with the majority of that rain falling early next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
This is Drew Steve on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Anytime you want to watch, we do appreciate it. Time right now for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
President Roosevelt clearly had the right to send to the United States Senate and the United States Congress a proposal to pack the court. It was totally within his right to do that. He violated no law. He was legalistically absolutely correct, but it was a bonehead idea. It was a terrible, terrible mistake to make, and it put in question, for an entire decade, the independence of the most significant body, including the Congress, in my view, the most significant body in this country, the Supreme Court of the United States of America. The president had the right to do that. He was totally within his power, and his objective was seen clearly.
Man, I'll tell you what, on the heels of the Democrats now getting ready to unveil legislation to pack the Supreme Court with 4 more justices, wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be special to have a statesman, someone, a leader who could stand up and succinctly speak to how dumb, how bad, how horrible an idea it is? Wouldn't it be wonderful? Oh, yeah, there's Joe Biden back from 1983 who was talking about the same thing, about how court packing would be a bonehead idea, how awful it is, how terrible it is. I guess he's reimagining now the court packing. They're reimagining everything on the left these days.
Number 4.
It's all peace, baby. It's all peace. It's all peace.
Holy
A bottle of water knocks you out?
Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. CNN showing up there in Brooklyn Center in Minnesota as protesters are there. And a CNN crew member gets hit square in the head with a bottle of water, a frozen bottle of water. It's just a bottle of water. That's all it is. And knocked him back. He fell down, as a matter of fact, and it seemed like it hurt pretty bad. I mean, getting hit with a water bottle, probably frozen there, but mocking him. Yeah, nothing to see. It's just CNN thinking that, I guess, that when they tell everybody it's about peace, it's peaceful protest, peaceful, we're about peaceful protesting. And then when you realize that the protesters there are not peaceful and they don't care if you're CNN and they hit you in the head with a water bottle, all of a sudden you're like, what? Hey, no, don't you know who we are? It doesn't matter who you are.
Number 3.
I'm Nikki Fried, your Commissioner of Agriculture, and I want to show you something. This is my medical marijuana card. It's legal and a direct result of 71% of Floridians voting to allow medical marijuana. But you wouldn't know that in Tallahassee. 5 years after Floridians put it in our Constitution, elected Republicans, so-called Constitution-loving Republicans, are still trying to undo our votes.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Republicans are bad. DeSantis is evil as the only elected Democrat there. Here in the state of Florida, part of the cabinet, and there's Nikki Fried, who, interestingly enough, is sounding like she's somebody who is probably going to be running for governor in 2022. Yeah. They're saying, okay, it's the evil Republicans, medical marijuana. We voted for this, and, now they're going to take it away, and they're evil, and blah, blah, blah. La, la, la. Here we go. Okay. Gotcha.
Number 2.
I tried to do this recently in the UN General Assembly when I spoke on the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. That day and commemoration was personal for me. So I told the UN some personal stories. I told them how my great-grandmother, Mary Thomas, born in 1865, was the child of a slave just 3 generations back from me. I grew up in the segregated South. I was bused to a segregated school. On weekends, the Klan burned crosses on lawns in our neighborhood. I shared these stories and others to acknowledge on the international stage that I have personally experienced one of America's greatest imperfections. I've seen for myself how the original sin of slavery weaved white supremacy into our founding documents and principles.
I just want to ask a question, and I'll leave it up for you to answer. That is Joe Biden's UN ambassador, Linda Thomas Greenfield, telling the National Action Network that if America's going to join the UN's Human Rights Council, that we have to acknowledge our failures, and as she's laid it out, that white supremacy is weaved into our founding documents and principles. If you're telling the world that we are racist, our founding principles are racist, the country is racist, we all know who we are and what we've done as a country and who we've been as a country and who we continue to be, as opposed to what the UN ambassador here is telling the world. Is that a problem? That this is the way we're telling the world and explaining to the world who we are and what we are? And does anything good come of this?
Number 2.
I tried to do this recently in the UN General Assembly.
Oh, we already did that. We're up to number 1. Let's move on.
Number 1.
Just a question on an issue that concerns the committee. It's being reported by the D.C. Bureau Chief for The Intercept, the gentleman Ryan Grimm. I understand it's not always wise to believe what's said on Twitter, but he's reporting that the Democrats will be introducing legislation to expand the Supreme Court from 9 members to 13 members, and that you and 2 of our members on this committee will be sponsoring that legislation. Is that accurate?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
That is not the subject.
It's not like an appropriate time to make inquiry of the chairman.
That is not the subject of the markup.
Expanding the Supreme Court,
is not the subject
report that the chairman is going to be sponsoring legislation is not something to be talked about on the House Judiciary.
In the middle of a markup.
The gentleman.
I waited till the bill was over, asked the chairman a question. If you don't think it's important about the Democrats trying to expand the size of the Supreme Court,
pursuant to notice,
I think that's a pretty important issue.
Pursuant to notice, I now call up H.R. 40.
All right, there you go. So there's Jim Jordan, who wanted to just ask the question of Chairman Nadler there at a committee meeting. You guys planning on packing the court? Is that what you're going to be? How dare you ask that? This is incredible. I can't believe. I waited till you guys were done, and we're all done with everything in the business right here. So I just wanted to ask that question. How dare you? Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Move along.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, we're not going to pack the courts. We don't want the courts packed, although Democrats do. And I'm just wondering if ultimately we see what's happening. That this is the things that are happening, and we can explain to people what's going on and why this is bad and what Democrats are trying to do. And you know and I know what is happening. And ultimately, as we look to 2022, does this turn the tide? Please don't tell me that we can't win another election. We can. Please don't tell me that everything is rigged and there's nothing we can do. Yes, you can. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. And there's a lot of good things that are happening here in the state. By the way, here's Alfie Oakes, who's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Because there are some good things that I wanted to talk to him about that are happening, that are going on in Tallahassee that will affect us right here in Southwest Florida. And one of the good things that is going on, and he witnessed it for himself, and we all witnessed it in the past couple of days, is how there are parents that are waking up in Southwest Florida, that are waking up to what's going on in the Lee County School Board, that even at the Collier County School Board, you were there the other day, Alfie. People are waking up. They're starting to see and speak out and see what's going on, and their voices are being heard. I hope. First of all, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Fantastic. Yeah, we had a great showing at the Collier County School Board. We had probably 130 to 150 people there.
Nice.
One of the things I like to bring up, there was very little media coverage there with 150. Although when I came against the Black Lives Matter movement, there was 4 people at the Lee County School Board, and there was every news media was covering those 4 people protesting us. But we had 120, concerned parents there, and very little media coverage. But that's not really, no surprise, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we did a great job there. There were so many great speakers. I spoke, and the sad thing, what I realized there that day is our school boards throughout our whole country are filled up with people that are, many of them, not all of them, of course, but many of them are weak and inept and maybe worse, they're not business people, and they're operating budgets. Like, let's say in Lee County, it's a $2 billion budget. and you got people on the board that, I'm not saying they're not good people, but they just don't understand business. So you have people that have, and then what's worse is they don't really even control. They don't control the superintendent. Here in Naples, Florida, we have Kamala Patton that basically runs, instead of the school board, elected school board, members, running her. She works for them. It's the opposite. She runs them, and we watched them 5 different times get up and leave because they didn't like what we were saying. I mean, they were acting like children. It was really an embarrassment. And the root of the problem is, and a lot of people may not realize this, the teachers' unions, even here in Florida, have so much, across the whole country, actually, have so much power. It's an unbelievable amount of power, and that power is created from one thing only, from money. Yeah. Many people don't realize that. So here in Collier County, there was 2 school board members that came up for election on this last election, and the teachers' unions put $800,000, $800,000 just in this county. So think about how many billions of dollars they're spending around the country to elect people that are either weak and won't stand up, or to push these liberal agendas in our school. And we've been sitting back and letting it happen. And I blame it on us. It's not their fault. We've been not getting involved, and it's time now. This has been the Great Awakening, and I'm begging every person that hears my voice to go out and tell their friends, and let their friends tell their friends that we have to vote in these school board elections. Many times throughout the country, there's 50 or 100 votes is all that makes the difference. There's very few people that turn out in these things, and they're voting against them. Basically with the money that comes in from this teachers unions, and $800,000 seems like a lot of money to spend in Collier County, but it's great bang for their buck, because what they are doing is they are stealing the hearts and the minds of every one of our children with this money, and they're pushing this liberal propaganda, liberal agenda into our children, and it's a great value for them.
Yeah, if you're listening to the sound of Alfie Oak's voice, you're listening to my voice, and you're a Democrat, and I know you listen because I see your emails, and you're aghast at this. This is outrageous. You cannot believe what is being discussed. What do you think they're doing? What do you think these teachers unions, the ones that are spending the money on these candidates that they bring in, what do you think their agenda is? Do you think it's about conservative values? No, it's not. Do you think it's about the values of the community? No, it's not. And to Alfie's point, and that's what we were talking about for the past couple of days, is the fact that, it is about the hearts and the minds of our kids. It is about the things, the lesson plans that are out there. It is not just that, but remember something. When it comes to the individuals that are running the show, or even some of the teachers, you can ask yourself, well, there's no curriculum. There's nothing here that would suggest the things you're talking about, critical race theory or anything like that. We're not teaching that. Yeah, but what are your values? Do you believe in that? And in turn, is that something that is being shown to our kids in your lesson plans themselves? And dare I say, yes, there is plenty of examples that could be happening, and that is happening. Not every single teacher, but there are many. And there are many people that are on the board that feel that way as well. And so I'll even ask you this, because I know, Alfie, that you were there, and a lot of people, even in Lee County, were talking about the mask mandates that we have in our schools, the concerns about our kids and having to be masked up during the school year. I know that we just found out yesterday that Richard Corcoran asked the school districts to make face masks voluntary for the 21-22 school year. I might make the case we can get this done sooner. Is he saying it should be a personal decision? The data shows us that the district's face covering policies don't impact the spread of the virus. Did you all talk about that yesterday? Have you been talking to people about that?
We did. Well, specifically, I told them. So a year and 2 weeks ago, I spoke to one of the world's leading epidemiologists. Now listen to what I'm saying, a year and 2 weeks ago. So this is before, people were still afraid then. And he specifically told me that from children from 0 to 18 would have more of a chance of dying on the bus ride to school than of dying of COVID-19. That's what he said a year and 2 weeks ago. Now here we are a year later, more than a year later, and everything he said is exactly right. We know the data. We see the data. The children are not dying, and these honestly, I call them psychopaths that are up there high on the power, high on their little bit of power that they have in these school boards, and they're mandating the masks. We were there, and one of my lawyers in the federal case was up there speaking, and she took her mask off of her mouth while she was at the podium, and she was 20 feet from anyone, and they told her to put her mask back on while she was speaking, and she said, I'm 20 foot away from everyone, and I'm not sick. And then they all just got up and left because she wouldn't put her mask on. I mean, this is not about health and safety. This is about, they're trying to make a political point. They're trying to, have this. They're kind of high on this, or drunk, you might say, on this little bit of control that they got, and it's really sad. It says a lot about human nature. But if anything, I pledge to donate $2 myself personally to every dollar that the teachers union puts in, and we're going to vote these people out. And we have to go across the country in all of our school boards, and we have to vote these people out that won't stand up. I'm looking at these school board members the other day, and I'm thinking, why? How can it be that none of them are going to stand up and take these masks off our children? And the reason is because they know that when the election time comes around, as long as they stay in line, as long as they stay in lockstep, then the teachers unions will put the money behind them to stay in power. And that's the sad reality of what's happening in our country right now.
So say that again about the $2 for every dollar, so people understand what's going on.
Well, like I said, they put $800,000 into the just Collier County, and they put for two people so that they could maintain power of this liberal agenda where they're going to allow fourth and fifth graders to for boys to go in girls' bathroom and girls to go in boys' bathrooms. That's what's happening in Lee County, and that's what they want to happen. That's not now. If they took a vote to the parents aren't going to vote for that. They know it would never vote. If they took a vote for the parents of wearing the masks, we see the schools first of all that haven't worn any masks, that had no mask policy, and 90% of the kids don't wear masks. And guess what? They've been healthier than the kids that are wearing the mask.
Yeah, by the way, I'm looking at a chart right now, a CDC 7-day case rate report for 100,000 by state and county when it comes to kids in classrooms and masking up. If you look, if the left side of the ledger would be the most cases per 100,000 in schools, and then the right would be the least. Lee County is seventh most. We're talking about the highest. Collier is 13th or something, or 17th. The top 20, only one of the top 20 on that list do not have masks required for their kids seated in classrooms. Only one. If you look at the right side, all the ones with the lowest amount of cases in classrooms in the state of Florida, almost everyone down the line, when you see all the least cases, they're the ones that do not require the children seated in classrooms to wear masks. It's the ones that do that have the most cases. It's the CDC's numbers.
They're by their numbers, and they know it. Yeah. We know this is not about health. This is all about control. We know that the most sad part about it, and this goes for children and adults, is any child that could wear a mask all day, any adult that can wear a mask all day, and their health is so good that mask is not going to bring great detriment to them, are people that will never, ever be affected by COVID-19. The people that do have some type of conditions, whether it's a heart condition, whether it's obesity, whether it's other pre-existing conditions, they are the people that cannot afford to have their oxygen levels decreased and keep breathing in their CO2. Those very people that are the most at risk for the COVID-19 are the very people that these masks are making ill. And that's why those numbers look so much worse in the places that are masking up. And it really hurts my heart when I see these people. I saw a guy yesterday. I was getting some gas, and he was almost looked like he was going to fall down. He was incredibly overweight, hunched over, and he's wearing a mask. And I wanted to just go up and talk to him and tell him, but people look at you like you're crazy. And it's just a shame how they've been brainwashed by the media. And we know that the mask does not keep the virus out. Anyone that does the least bit of critical thinking can figure it out.
All right, Alfie Oaks Farm, Seed the Table, our first Fridays. We're looking forward to the next first Friday and seeing you there.
We love seeing you over there. We're going to keep spreading the truth and keep fighting the good fight. And we're going to take our country back here in 2022.
All right, my friend.
That's going to be the beginning of it.
All right, we got to run. I'll see you soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, there he goes. All right, 239-479-5592. Remember the number because you'll need it tomorrow when we come back. Glenn Beck is next. Let's find out what's happening with the remainder of the forecast for today with the Week News meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. It's a